Greg Locke just made a big announcement. He's running for office. Running for president, as a matter of fact. Just listen to what he has to say here. By the way, this is October 2nd, 2024.
So I don't know who's going to win. I don't know what's going to happen.
He's literally crying.
But I'm telling you, if you don't have the anointing of the Holy Ghost in your life, you're not going to survive what's coming in the next 6 months in this nation, no matter who's in the White House.
Next 6 months, you are going to die if you don't have the anointing of God. Okay, cool. Well, I wrote this down as a prophecy, pending prophecy, and in 6 months, we're going to come back to it, and we'll see who was right. I wonder if he'd change his mind if he was presented with all the examples of him just lying. Would he change his mind?
I'm going to a big pastor's gathering coming up in a couple weeks. I didn't want to go at first. And then they invited me and they said, hey, we want you to speak with Trump in the room. I said,
he's speaking at a Trump event.
Okay, whatever. I'm going to bring up abortion. Huh? You hear me? I'm going to bring up abortion. I cannot know the truth and sit on it at dinner, you understand?
Okay, well, the truth is that the Bible supports abortion, endorses it, says you should get an abortion. I don't know where he's getting this idea Christians shouldn't get abortions or shouldn't support it, first of all. But second, if you want to win an election, you have to keep it clamped about abortion because it is a losing issue for Republicans. Remember how this is all they talked about for a while? And now they got it and they just don't say another word about it? It's interesting, right? It's completely full of shit. But you know what? Okay. Talk about it. That works for me. I'm good with that, actually.
I'm not looking for votes and running for office. Not till 2032 anyhow. But nonetheless.
I thought to myself, this is a joke, right? He's just kind of throwing it out there. He's done something similar in the past. No. He's real about this. Keep listening.
They going crazy. They wanted me to say something and announce it when I was at D.C. I told my wife the other day, I'm just really talking now. I told my wife the other day, I said, honey, what would happen if when I was 60, right? 60, at less than 12 years will be 2032. I said, how about when I'm 60 in 2032, Pastor Greg Locke runs for president and tries to turn this mess around for the glory of God in this nation? You think I'm playing?
So he chose 2032 for a couple of reasons. First of all, Donald Trump will be out of the political sphere by then. Second, incumbent presidents almost always win a second term. It's so super rare that they don't. Like, Trump was an outlier. He was so disliked that he ran for a second term and he lost. That's crazy. And then we were stuck with him for, 8 more years. When is this dude going to go away? Anyway, Greg Locke, I'll tell you what he suspects is going to happen. He picked 2032 because he believes that Kamala Harris is going to win in 2024, and then in 2028, because she'll be the incumbent. And then the next election that happens after that will be 2032, and it will be primed for a Republican to take office. That's almost always how it works. Bush, Obama, Republican, Democrat. Donald Trump, Joe Biden. This is like an outlier situation where Biden isn't running, but the VP has a really, really good shot at winning. So I think in his heart, he knows that Kamala Harris is going to win and that the world's going to be around for another 12 years or whatever it is. Or 8 years. No, how many years? Yeah, 8 years. I'm sorry. He knows this. Even though he started out with this saying that you aren't going to survive 6 more months without God. He knows it. Or he wouldn't have said that. Yeah, Kat Kerr is vice president. Oh, no, please, no. You know, I always wonder, what would a conspiracy theorist do if they won the presidency? First of all, how could they process that they won? Like, I thought the deep state was preventing this or whatever, right? And second, when they get access to every bit of information available to humanity, and they find out that they were just like full of this whole time, that the earth is round, in fact. And, you know, you want to prove it, then get in a rocket ship right now and NASA will take you to space if that's what it takes. That there aren't really chemtrails or whatever. The vaccine is safe and all that. And they didn't assassinate JFK like the CIA or whatever. What do you think these people would do upon finding that out? Do you think they'd continue to deny it and claim that, like, their administration is lying to them? I have to wonder. I mean, Greg Locke's full-blown conspiracy theorist, QAnoner. What would he do if he got into office and found all this out?
I'm tired of people not being tired of it. I'm sick of people not being sick of it. They're coming for our children. They're coming for our rights. They're coming for our speech. They're coming for our guns. They're coming for our religion. They're coming for our Jesus.
No, I think you're the only one coming for those things, Greg. So I made that joke the other day. All right, continue. Oh, that was the end. Okay. Good note to end on there. Anyway, he has this bizarre idea of what is going to happen in the future. Listen to what he, hearing him say that he wants to run in 2032, that tells me that he knows Kamala's going to win the next 2 elections, and then it'll be his chance. Listen to what he says to people, though.
Please let me prophesy some truth to you. The supply chain is about to be so messed up in this nation, and it's on purpose. These strikes are on purpose. We're just a couple of weeks away, few weeks away.
But they resolved the strikes, by the way. And he's claiming that nothing is on accident or nothing. It's all real. There's no coincidence or whatever other. God, dude, he is just gone. I am so desperate to know what he would do if he had access to the world's information.
The most important election of our lifetime. Everybody's like, well, y'all said that the last time. Yeah, and look what they did with it.
What'd they do with it? Last time around, Greg said that it's most definitely going to end in, I don't know, Christians being taken out or whatever other thing. And here he is. Is that weird to anybody else? Huh. And in a second, we'll talk about all of the things that he claimed about 2020.
You got one more chance to rectify this, because listen to me. If Kamala
Hey, you said her name right.
wins this election, hear me when I tell you, we will never have another one.
That is literally word for word exactly what he said, except he said about Joe Biden in 2020. And here we are on the other end of a Biden presidency. And we're still having a democracy. We're having a democratic vote. Interesting, right? Is he ever going to, face his false prophecies head on and accept that he doesn't know what he's talking about? Is that ever going to happen? Okay, Nerical says, Greg actually said they're coming for our cheeses, and that upsets me greatly. Nobody comes for my cheeses. They can come for Jesus all they want, not cheeses.
Do you understand the severity of that? Stop all this. Well, if I was around during the Holocaust, I'd have said something. Stop. If you're not doing it now, you wouldn't have done it then.
I'm sorry. I've covered this before. I'm not going to get into it right now, but Greg Locke is on the side that Hitler was on. Hitler persecuted all the exact same people that Greg Locke persecutes. The LGBT community, Christians from different denominations. I don't even know who else. He likes Jews, I suppose, only because he needs them to die in a mass tragedy event so that Jesus can return. That's the only reason he likes them. Yeah, he just doesn't like minority group, Muslims or anything. He is on Hitler's side.
If she wins, we will never have. Notice I'm not screaming tonight. I'm not throwing stuff. I'm just telling you, we're about to lose everything we fought for our children to have.
You fought for something? What did you fight for, Greg?
Because you want to stay home and not vote because you think your vote don't matter.
This is a violation of the separation of church and state right here, what he's doing. He just opposed a political campaign or party or candidate. That is supposed to lead to him paying his taxes like every other human being on planet Earth. You can't remain tax exempt and continue to get involved in politics, or you shouldn't, at the very least. But here we are. The Johnson Amendment is not being enforced, even under Joe Biden, unfortunately. It's really, really disappointing to me. It's not against the Johnson Amendment to endorse voting, but it is to endorse a candidate or oppose a candidate. Anyway, like I was saying, Greg Locke claimed he gave up tax-exempt status forever ago. He didn't. He lied. I checked later. I checked, a couple months down the line, and he did not dissolve his business. His non-profit, his tax-exempt ministry is still registered under the exact same name it was always registered under since 2006. He pretended to give up tax-exempt status so that he could do this with impunity without criticism. Just one more thing he lied about.
Or you want to get woke and woozy and think it's okay to vote because, what we really need is a black woman as president. She's Indian.
She's black. She's black and Indian, half black, half Indian. Her dad was Jamaican. Why do they try to die on this hill? I don't understand. And who cares if she's black? I don't care if she's black. I don't even care if she's a woman. I care that she's not orange, for one thing. I'd rather not have... I don't know what race he is, but I'm racist against it. By the way, all my jokes are stolen. So if you hear me make a joke, it's probably not originally from me. Yeah. Comedians only respect people that come up with original jokes. I'll never be respected by a comedian. That's just what it is. I steal too many jokes. Anyway, I don't want somebody that's insane like Donald Trump. I don't want someone who I have to worry about like democracy falling. And you know what else? I don't want to deal with the constant barrage of media about Donald Trump. Like, it's tiring hearing about his stupid 24/7. And he plays the press like a fiddle. He's been doing this for years, keeping his name in magazines by saying inflammatory shit. So, anyway, I just don't want to hear about it anymore, truthfully. I want him to go away, and I don't have to think about it. Unfortunately, we have to think about it as a country because he's still there.
Okay? So stop all that. Well, I gotta be politically correct. Why don't you be biblically correct and not care?
I'm not talking about who's saying politically correct. What? I'm just saying don't be a scumbag is all.
Politically correct. Why don't you be biblically correct and not care what stinking color they are and vote
I don't.
in the person that is going to actually do something to let us keep saying and doing what we're doing right now.
You mean under Joe Biden? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm voting for the person who is guaranteeing that you have the right to say what you're saying right now under Joe Biden. Are you kidding me with this right now? Really? What happened to 4 years ago? If Biden wins, then it's all going to come crashing down. We're all going to be put in jail. What happened to that?
Doing what we're doing right now because the other side's going to take it away and I'm going to have a jail ministry.
That is literally exactly what he said 4 years ago. He is so full of shit. And the fact that he said he wants to run in 2032 tells me that he knows that he's lying, in my opinion. He knows.
So, as the anointing increases.
Oh, he's anointed to run for president. I see.
The annoyance is going to increase as well. But I'm telling you, our economy is about to be tanked. And that's going.
Okay, can I take that as a prophecy too? What happens when it's not?
That's going to get turned around. But it is going to be purposely tanked. So hold on. I'm telling you, hold on. Because what we are watching happen is apparently something that most people aren't watching the same thing I am. I'm like, can you not see what is happening before your very eyes?
Yeah, no, we're not watching the same thing. That's true. Listen to what he has to say in this one. It's just conspiracy theory central right now.
You realize 193 nations just met at the United Nations and signed an agreement.
Okay, there are only 196 countries in the world, I believe. 195. Oh, one of them must have been absorbed by another. Anyway. So you're telling me that all but 2 countries in the entire world signed an agreement of some sort? Which ones were left out?
Signed an agreement for global citizenship.
No, nobody did that. This is fictitious.
Everybody's like, man, I just don't think that's going to happen in 20 lifetimes. It's happening in yours.
No, it is not.
193 nations just signed on for a global initiative for global citizenship.
You know, so usually there's like a grain of truth to the things that he says. There isn't in this case. There isn't even a grain. I looked pretty hard and I couldn't find it. Maybe I missed it. Somebody post it in the comments if I did. I haven't seen anything about this.
Global citizenship. You will be a property.
What?
Of the global network.
This is sovereign citizenship.
There'll be a one world religion. You say, well, How's that going to happen? Well, I don't know. Tell me. 2 weeks ago, the Pope said, well, you know what? I know we're Catholic and we have deep-seated convictions, but at the end of the day, all gods lead to heaven. That's one worldism right there.
No, it isn't. Whatever the hell one worldism is, it's the Pope saying, if you're a good person and you love God, then you can make it into heaven. I think that's the point, which I can appreciate. Second, Germany actually tried to create a supra-confessional church, SUPRA, where they were going to unite Catholics and Protestants under the same umbrella. And it didn't work. There were just too many differences. I just think that's kind of interesting. It's just not going to happen. Like, even on a small scale where everybody's lives are micromanaged by a fascist regime, they couldn't even make it work under that. So it's not happening.
That's one world religion. And I told you when I preached on the Antichrist exactly what the one world religion is going to be comprised of: Catholicism and Islam.
Okay.
I don't care if you get mad.
I'm not getting mad. I just think you're a fucking idiot, is all.
You can kiss the feet of the statue of the Virgin Mary all you want to and still go to hell in your sin. It'll be Catholicism because it's the richest, most politically intertwined system on the planet, and it will be Islam that comes in with it because I only know one group of people on the planet comfortable with cutting people's heads off, and Revelation said it's going to happen.
You only know of one group of people okay with that? Okay, I hate to break the news to you. That's actually pretty common, sadly, in the world. But what does that have to do with anything? I don't understand. Like, what are you trying to say? What's the point? Yes, Islam is violent sometimes. Absolutely. Okay. How does that lead you to one world government exactly?
We are watching one world system happen before our very eyes.
We are not. We are not watching that.
Starbucks, who we always joke about and talk about. Of course, I don't joke about it. I think it's witchcraft. But at the end of the day,
Starbucks is witchcraft.
Laugh about the mermaid spirit. Starbucks just made an announcement that at the end of this year, they will no longer ever again accept any form of cash.
They didn't. I looked into it pretty heavily. It turns out that this is a recycled lie from, I think, 2022. There was a fake image of a Starbucks sign outside Starbucks. It said, as of October, whatever, we're not taking cash anymore. And the reason this is so, like, this gets to them so much is because there's this conspiracy theory about, like, where the book of Revelation, it says you're going to have to carry marks on your hand or something and mark on your forehead. I don't remember, in the end times. And a lot of kind of right-wing evangelical QAnoners believe that the mark of the beast is going to be a chip that's inserted into your hand that you use to buy and pay for goods. And they're going to, like, shut off the payment if you say something about Jesus, and it just gets really insane. Anyway, that's never going to happen. You know why? Somebody actually invented the technology to insert a chip into their hand, and they came to find that, first of all, it needs a battery. If it doesn't need a battery, then it's just a number. It's just, like, you can have it on anything. It's not even, like, something you can scan. Third, everything is hackable. Everything. And fourth, why wouldn't you just put it on a ring? This is an invasive procedure to inject it into your hand or whatever. People just put it on their ring or on their phones. So anyway, Greg Locke is just completely full of shit here. It's just everything all the way down is a lie.
Cash is king, homie.
He thinks in the end times you're going to need to use cash because they're going to force you to blah, blah, blah.
But not at Starbucks. And that's just a slow roll, by the way. It's going to happen more and more. Pretty soon, you will not be able to pull out money at Walmart.
Oh my God, dude. This is insane. Connect with reality again, Greg. I'm begging you, please. Holy Christ, bro. All right, so let me just talk about, like, a couple of really wacky things that he has said over the years, all right? We'll just start small. Start with this one. This one is from late November 2021.
He said, I warned you, warned you, warned you, warned you, warned you, warned you, warned you. People that warn are called QAnon conspiracy theorists these days.
Here we go.
You see, everybody thought Noah was crazy. Till it started raining.
Did you hear that woman in the background? She stole his joke. She said, till it started raining. Wow, what a jerk.
Over the course of the next year, This will be the worst.
Whoa, hold on now. Sounds like we're making a prophecy. 2021, late November 2021. So we're talking 2 years ago. Go on. What's going to happen 2 years ago?
Worst. I told you so. In the history of the world.
Come on.
I do not look forward to it. This is going to be the worst we told you so ever. But we're trying to warn you.
Okay. Well, give me the warning.
Trying to warn you. You care too much about what your boss thinks. You care too much about what your mama thinks. You care too much about what your compromising pastor thinks. You care too much about what some fraudulent president thinks. You
Biden shot across the bow for Biden.
care too much about what some deacon, some elder think. You care too much about what you better pay it. We're warning you.
So is he saying that like the apocalypse is going to happen? I don't know what he's warning me of.
We're telling you right now, this is not going to turn out good. This is not going to turn out well. This is a plan. This is evil. This is nefarious. And I don't care how mad you get when I say that. We are warning you. Get on.
Bro, I'm not mad. I just think you're a ridiculous human being.
The ark, the rain is coming.
Get on the ark, the rain is coming. Great. The fascinating thing is that he has come up with some real humdingers of conspiracy theories that were never true, obviously. So this one is from May 22nd, 2022. Listen to this. It's about Perry Stone.
Some of y'all gonna be shocked when Perry Stone goes to jail this year.
2022. It was May 2022. Perry Stone's not in jail, by the way.
Shout or don't shout, I don't care. I see somebody. Yeah, get out.
He is such a perpetual victim.
Perry Stone going to jail. Huh? Kenny Copeland should be under the jail. You would be shocked if you knew what's going on behind closed doors in these pastors' offices.
Well, tell us specifically exactly what's happening, Greg, if you know so much. He doesn't. He's lying. He pretends to know some secret information because he's at the very top or whatever. He knows all these people. He doesn't know. He claimed in another video forever ago that he had evidence against Kenneth Copeland of like CP and things. It's like, bro, you know it's illegal to own that no matter what, right? Like, turn that into the police. There's no good reason to own that. The fact is he doesn't have any evidence on Kenneth Copeland with like CP or whatever. He's just lying brazenly. Like he says it with such confidence and knowingly lies, in my opinion.
The Bible says beware of false prophets, so apparently they're around.
Anyway, yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Yeah, check this one out. This one is interesting. May 15th, 2022.
So when all the witches get loosed and all the gas prices go up and all
Oh my God.
the stores start folding and people start losing their businesses, and guess what's going to happen on May 22nd?
Wait, none of that other stuff happened. What are you talking about?
You just didn't hear about it because Biden don't want you to. They've given full authority to the World Health Organization. Matter of fact, it's funny that the video's in Chinese. They know who owns us.
Yeah, you'd think that if he saw a video in some dialect of Chinese, he might choose to fact check it, like to use Google Translate instead. No, he's just going to like run with whatever the subtitle said. Okay.
And now the World Health Organization has the power to take over the sovereignty of the United States of America and shut down anytime, anywhere they so choose.
No, they don't. They never did. He's just like, in this case, I think maybe he did believe this, but he's just like terribly, painfully wrong. And the sad part about it is that he doubled down on it a week later.
I dare you to come up in this tent, try to shut us down with your fake pandemic bullcrap nonsense. Try to shut this church down. You hear me? You hear me? Try to shut up. We ain't ever shutting down World Health Organization.
No one's trying to shut you down, Greg.
We ain't shutting down this church. We gonna stay open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we don't give two flips of a wooden nickel about what you or your mama says about it, you Chinese-loving devil.
Does it get more obnoxious, absurd, and racist? What is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? I don't understand how he reached this where he is. And again, he doubled down. It got even worse. This is a week later. Yeah. May 22nd, 2022. So 7 days later.
Last week, the news media said that I was a QAnon conspiracy theorist nut job because I said something about our sovereignty being surrendered to the World Health Organization.
Yeah, you're wrong. That didn't happen.
I wish they'd fact check me right now.
I fact checked him. It's fake.
Because you know what today is? What's today's date? Somebody tell me. Yeah, you know what starts today? Today through Tuesday is the signing of the agreement whereby we begin to surrender our states' rights and our national security and sovereignty over to the World Health Organization. If you don't think it's happening, you've lost your mind.
Is it weird that, like, it never happened to anybody else? And on top of that, is it weird to anyone else that he just pretends that it, like, he was never wrong about it? Pretends he never said it.
I've talked on the phone to the people that have been in the room and know that it's happening.
No, he didn't.
But the Biden administration don't want you to know. They just want to push it through in the middle of the night. And then when it all goes to hell, blame Trump for it.
How would anybody blame Trump for this? What are you talking about?
Am I right? They have begun agreements right now to take away our sovereignty as a nation so that when the World Health Organization declares an emergency, we are automatically under the dictator, communistic rulership of the World Health Organization. And anybody that tells you I'm lying has never paid any attention to what is coming out of their mouths right now.
Brother, I watch more news than you do. It is my literal job to sit here and sift through the news, okay? I promise you, I am listening to literally everything. Well, not literally, I guess virtually. I promise you, I'm listening to probably 5 times as much information as he is paying attention to on a daily basis. He's just sucked into this weird little bubble, this QAnon bubble, where all of his sources are from QAnoners. Anyway, nobody ever said that. This is not happening. This is completely made up. There was a grain of truth to this. I don't remember what it was. It was something like the United States and some other countries voted unanimously to allow the WHO to declare a worldwide pandemic without having to hold a vote in a council or something like that. I don't even remember, but it affects nothing. Like, they don't have any sovereignty over anything. They can just say, hey, there's a pandemic happening right now. That's it. Jesus, dude. They're just like in another universe.
Starts today. And if states do not individually stand up and push back from the top down, it don't get no more military top than what I'm talking about.
Probably talking about Michael Flynn, that general that's a complete nutcase, pretends that he's some special person or something.
On speakerphone, if I'm lying, I'm dying. God strike me dead on this platform.
Oh, there's the evidence. God didn't strike him dead.
He said, if our states' attorney generals do not stand up and push back about what's going to happen over the next 3 days, America will effectively be lost forever.
And here we are, still sitting here. Weird, huh? Almost like Greg Locke had no idea what he's talking about the whole time, huh? I mean, there is an endless list of videos that I have. OwenMorgan.com/clips if you want access. I'm not selling anything. They're free. It's every clip that I have ever watched on this channel since 2021 or something like that. Anyway, endless list of clips from this guy where he just makes prediction after prediction. I'm sorry, no. Prophecy after prophecy after prophecy and gets them wrong every single time. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. This is just insane. God, I hope he doesn't run for office.